Riders ready, watch the gate.
Hey, welcome back to the Dirty Knobs podcast. I'm your host, Hollywood Mike Miranda, and my co-hosts are, as always, my BMX brothers, JV James Vicente and EC Eric Carter. On this episode, this is our Frogtown recap. So check it out. Make sure you check out the commercials and also check out the edit, the edits on the very end. Always funny. Please go to dirtyknobs.com, check out our merch, buy something, support us, and we will see you at Dirty Fest 2. Well, boys, here it is, the recap of Frogtown.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it was a different experience for all three of us. And I'm dying to hear what you guys thought, how it was for you, and what it means for us going forward. But so how was it for you?
Wait, let's allow like EC go before me, but let's just give a little bit of the people who didn't go. The weather versus last year was a lot better. It wasn't quite as hot. It was hot, but last year we had that like fires that were nearby, so there was a lot. If you guys remember, there was a lot of that smoke, and it was also really warm. This year was warm, but I think manageable, right? I mean, it wasn't terrible.
I got one for you. Hey, JV, why don't you tell us about what Frogtown is for our friends that maybe don't know all the details?
Yeah, that's a good point. Unless they listen to Todd Huffman on our last one, the pre-Frogtown. But Frogtown is a I guess you can call it a vintage race. It's in its third year. It was originated by, it was Todd, and who else did it? Was it just
John Valdez from
Juan
UBR?
Valdez.
Yeah.
Just those two are the ones who started it. The location is an actual spot that used to hold races. So it's not like, I guess you could say, ours or even the Texas one where they actually created the track. The track is not there, obviously, day to day, but it is in the same location, same spot that the former track was. So there's some cool history there. It was the first, I guess you could say, it is the pioneer in the vintage races. These guys did start it for everybody. We followed, and Texas followed after us. But they are the originators, and we have to give it to them because they took a good idea and they brought it to life. And I think, as you could see in its third year, it really started to blossom. They had an excellent turnout this year. I think there were 50 motos, and they ran 8-man gates. And I think Todd's statistic, which I heard, was somewhere around 3,000 or so attendees, maybe between 3,000 and 4,000, I think, total attendees that stopped by at some point.
I don't think I don't think Frogtown is any of that, dude. I think Frogtown is our excuse to go to my bar in the Patterson party.
Well, that's for us. That's for us. But we're gonna get into that. But
no, you're absolutely right, JB. You nailed it. What Frogtown is, it's the, they were the first to do it, and they do a good job. And it's just a vintage reunion, man, of all of us. I mean, we're doing it too, but I got there first, man, and he's did a great job, and it's a great time.
Yeah, they had races. They had a bike show. The Pattersons had a invite party on Friday night, and we had our Dirty Knobs party as well in the town at a place called My Bar, and that was also on Friday. On Saturday,
and that was by invite.
That was by
we invited everybody.
Everybody's invited. Everybody's invited.
And then on Saturday, after the races, They had I guess they called it a Legends dinner, but everyone was invited also. You had to buy a ticket to attend, but but in addition to that, they had auctions that evening where you buy a ticket and they auctioned a ton of stuff. I think Mike, you were doing the emceeing of that whole thing, but there were some pretty good prizes and a lot of prizes that they gave away that evening. The Sunday, they ran a regular race so that they were able, what their intent was to bring in some old schoolers and then maybe some new schoolers that wanted to race old school. So they ran a real legitimate USA BMX points race on Sunday, as they did Friday afternoon as well.
Yeah, it was a great event. I love what Todd's doing. The fact that it's way out there in Angels Camp makes it a different experience. And you definitely have to want to go. It's a destination. It's a ways out there, but the historical value of what it is. One more thing that they did was they placed a memorial plaque there at the starting gate. That was kind of a cool thing because that's the beginning of where this all happened. And they did a plaque commemorating Bob Osborne and Frogtown, and that was very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's a little bit remote, but there's some history there on the whole town itself. They have these like frog jumping contests. If you guys don't know, if people don't know, they do frog jumping. They had frog jumping contests there. They have if you go into the main town, they have plaques that are actually in the ground, kind of like in Hollywood with the
Walk of Fame,
with the Walk of Fame,
Yeah.
but it's like frogs. Yeah,
it is. It's the inspiration for Mark Twain's story, the jumping frog of Calaveras County. That is the town, and that fairgrounds is where they jump those frogs. So it is a destination. But I think that's the allure. One of the allures to the event is that it is a destination. You are remote. The town is remote. And I think it adds to the overall atmosphere of the event. You feel like you're going somewhere, and I think it's cool.
Yeah. So great job, Huff and crew. They had a lot of volunteers. They put on a good show, and everyone enjoyed the racing and the gathering and all the fun stuff. So awesome job, Todd. Okay.
Yep. Now, how was it for you? give me the positive. Give me the positive and the negative, or the negative and the positive.
All right, EC, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. Well, for me, the biggest positive was having my son, Ethan, actually went up and he got to experience Frogtown for the first time. I went last year, but didn't race. So we both decided to race. Art and Toby at Race Inc. supported us on that and supplied us with bikes. So that was really cool. But that was my highlight. I mean,
dude, and you both kicked ass. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
No, we did.
That was awesome.
We both made Pro-Am main, and I thought that was really cool. I don't know if a father-son's ever made a main together. So,
shit.
And he passed me. He passed me in the second to last turn, man. So,
the Carter gene runs strong.
I know. So, no, it was good. It was other positives. The shenanigans always, but whether we're at Frogtown or wherever we are, we're always doing those, right? It's always a highlight for me to go to the Patterson's house. And I've said this many times and I sound like a broken record, but man, it's a really special thing to be able to go to that home. They open their home to us, and to talk in the atmosphere, to get to go and be in that atmosphere with everybody that is there. I mean, it really is. I was talking with Big E on the night, and he said, man, if it happened in BMX, it's here right now. And he's pretty much right. I mean, there's a few people that are missing at the party, but man, like you could, if you had the time, you could do a history book thing with just the people that are standing there, and you could write a really bitchin' book. So to be able to have not out at the track, not worrying about motos, not worrying, like, it's a really, really relaxed atmosphere. And I love that. It was really cool to see.
And it's quiet enough and intimate enough that you can have a conversation. That's the
right,
part I like
right.
too.
Right. So it was cool. It was good. I thought it was really cool that Gary Ellis was. That's where I saw Gary for the first time in many, many years. He was at the party, along with Bob Hadley. That was really cool. I know they're pretty removed from BMX, and so for Huff to get those guys to attend was really cool, man. So, our party was at my bar was fantastic. I was a little bummed my son got booted out of the bar, but he's not old enough, and he's 6'3", so his head sticks up over everybody. As soon as we walked in, I saw
like a beacon. He was a beacon, basically.
Dude, she spotted him, and from across the bar, and I saw her beeline straight to him, and he wasn't smart enough to tell her that he was 21. He was honest. He said, "No, I'm not." So she booted him out. But
you got a good kid.
He got a good kid.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. I thought Huff and team did a great job. The racing was fantastic. I loved the racing. The track raced. I didn't race it last year, but I think there was even more passing this year. I think the track raced better than last year. I know Huff had a little bit of a hiccup on the moto posting and stuff, but man, they really gathered it back up, and I thought they rebounded really, really good. So, man, racing was fantastic. Everything, dude. I had a great time. Like it was a blast.
Yeah, it was really a good time. I mean, for the most part, a reunion, right? That probably is what draws us. I think, yeah. And I want to talk about that too. Yeah.
You one of my negatives too.
Yeah.
I'd say probably biggest is Kenny Nachman and Tracer's crash and Kenny getting injured. That really sucked.
And Tracer getting injured, by the way. He's just not the guy that's going to tell you about it, but he got hurt pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that since I took him home.
Yeah.
Or brought him back down to Arizona.
I thought he was going to be pretty injured after you seen that crash, and then you see the pictures the way his neck folded. I mean, we don't been the way we used to, and so I'm glad it wasn't worse. I'm glad that everybody's on the mend, but that you hate to see that. What other negatives were there, man? That I don't have many, man. Honestly,
that's awesome.
I mean, I really me cramping. Holy moly.
I was going to go to that one too.
That was the worst for me.
JV's legs locked up, dude. Yours locked up.
So
my bar needs electrolytes.
Dude, they do. and I will tell you,
we need to do some electrolyte shots.
And I told you, Hollywood, I really, really ran really light on the beers. Like I think I had like 2 or 3. I don't think I had 7. But I know I didn't have 7. But
no, you didn't.
Especially the night before. But man, the races were so back to back, and the gear on that bike that I was racing was so hard. I couldn't. And I haven't been riding. I haven't been riding my bike, man. I've been driving tractors. So that all came down to after the very first round, man. My legs were dead. So I was in survival mode. Second rounds, third round, semis. I was just doing enough to get to the mains, and
changed your gear.
And I changed my gear, but everything worked out good, right? I was like, okay, I made the Pro-Am main. I was actually at one point, I think I was in third. Dale, I got into the back of Dale into the soft part of a berm and kind of got shuffled back. But I won my open main, which was a goal for me. I wanted to win one of my classes for the Race Inc. boys. And then my brother Hollywood grabs me at the finish line and goes, "Hurry up. You got Trophy Dash."
Dude, he was already just straight white from being exhausted. His legs were cramped. He was done. It was like, oh. And I said, yes, you got now you're in the Trophy Dash. It was like I kicked him in the balls.
Dude,
the Trophy Dash was awesome.
I managed the whole race to be able to have that effort in that last main. And that was it. I mean, I was cramping as I was crossing the line for that race.
Nobody told you about the fourth moto.
I didn't know I had Trophy Dash. So I'm saying no. Hollywood grabs my bike and just starts walking it up the hill. So yeah, I found myself.
You can't be a pro and a pussy.
That's right. So it was good. I got out a good start. I got in behind Cheeseburger, and I just followed him and dogged him and followed him and just pressured him. And I know my bikes, I was able to go around that left-hand flat corner really fast. I was able to just close up on him and get on the inside last turn and put a good pass on him. I was going to win the dang thing. And dude, from my rib cage down, completely locked up, dude. No, there was no oil in the pistons, dude. It just seized up and threw me over the bars. And I thought it was a fitting ending to the weekend. As soon as that was done, I was dragging my carcass off the track. Muller was laughing at me, but it started raining. We got a rainbow. I thought it was actually a pretty cool ending, but dude, that really hurt. My legs hurt for like 2 days after.
Yeah.
Yeah, those menstrual cramps can be severe, man.
So I think I'm gonna ride a little bit before next year, so that I don't have to.
Great plan.
Dude, I mean, I picked up the bike a week before, and I never did get a chance to even ride it, man. I rode it in the street in front of my house the day before we left, and that's when I realized, man, the gear's going to be too hard. So I called Art and was like, dude, I hope you brought gears, because I can't race it. It's too big. I just didn't ride.
So now for next year, bring more sprockets, bring electrolytes,
yes,
and bring a fake ID.
That's right. Those are the three things.
Those 3 things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
JV, what do you got, man? What was your experience?
So I think the highlights, of course, is always the reunion of everybody and seeing everyone. I thought seeing Donnie Atherton was actually really cool. Didn't know him that well anyway, but Mike I think I remember meeting Donnie a couple of times, like at our hotel when we were racing, and he came in and you were talking to him. And I mean, he probably doesn't remember me from Adam, but he is such a cool guy. Like he was hanging out in the pit with us, and he's just funny. Like he's just a funny kind of, sneaky funny kind of guy.
He's quiet funny, man. He is quiet funny.
Yeah, he's quiet funny. I thought Terry Tennant winning the Pro-Am was kind of a cool thing to watch. It was totally a clean race. Like what an awesome race. I thought that was like getting back to BMX, and Terry legitimately like ran a great race and won the Pro-Am. So that was cool to see. Of course, hanging out in the Dirty Knobs pits, we had I think it was 4 tents or so. I mean, we had a pretty big pit area. A lot of people stopped by and hung out. That's always a highlight for me. I'll say this. From the perspective of the non-Hall of Famer, non-world champion person, Frogtown fucking hurt me. Like I was legitimate for a guy who doesn't ride a bike at all. I'm probably like a majority of regular listeners at our 80s listeners and so on. I mean, I don't ride anymore. I mean, it's tough for me with everything, but I mean, Texas was probably like the first time in almost 30 years to get on a 20-inch, and it was a short track. So I actually had like this like, what do you call it? False, like, when you feel really good, like
false self-confidence.
Yeah. False self-confidence. That when I got to Frogtown, I mean, EC, who you're a rider, you didn't ride that often, you cramped up. My body cramped, my legs, both of my quads tightened up in the semis to a point where my legs were just straight. Like I couldn't move them. They got straight. It was weird. It was never happened before.
Same.
JV EC said he cramped from the ribs down. I think JV cramped from the eyebrows down.
It was crazy. It was really.
We could see in the video his legs lock like 2x4s.
Yeah, that video is hilarious, dude.
And I
It
was
looks like you. It actually looks like you do it on purpose. It looks like you're stretching your calves out or
I
something.
can't move. I can't move. It's just I'm stuck. And when I got to the finish line, I'm like, where the hell is the first aid tent? Like maybe I need to like have fluids or something. I was thinking that I didn't have any fluids because it took a long time. The cramping didn't go away for a while. I was there.
First
there
aid
for a
tent is a
long time.
beer garden.
It was all the way on the other side.
Yeah, it's a beer garden.
Yeah. So I would say I think it was a fun time. Obviously to get on the track again after you haven't ridden. I encourage everyone that all our old schooler BMXers that feel like they want to get on a bike. I mean, it's a good opportunity to do it. I think and I told you guys this, I think it's getting a little bit competitive and I think that's just in us that we are competitive in nature. So of course everyone's going to be competitive, but I felt like last year when I would look at the pictures and watch the races that there was a lot more smiling and like laughing going around the track. And this year seemed very competitive. Like people wanted to win. Nothing bad about it. I'm just saying it just seemed like it was a little more, competitive in that way. And that's just the nature of us that we are competitive, but it seemed a little bit different. And I don't know if that deters people that don't ride a lot to do it, to do the race because, it just maybe they just aren't ready for it. But yeah, that's my other than that, I mean, there's nothing negative I would say except I had to take Advil for about 4 days. I was like in terrible shape.
Dude, it was gnarly, right? Like for days after, your legs hurt. Like
Dude,
they just hurt.
it was my body was I just was like it was just a body. There was
like
nothing going on it.
To me, it felt like if you haven't been to the gym in a while, and then you go to the gym and you overwork your legs or your body, and then for a couple of days you're really sore. That's how I felt. Just those cramps, man, the tension that your muscles create is so strong. It's like so locked up, man. And you're just sitting there like that, flexing the whole time. And it hurt like for a couple of days, man. It hurt to walk up and down my stairs.
Yeah. It was humbling for me, but I also have a lot of respect for the the guys that are doing it and competitive, like Stewart. Yeah, that dude's older than me, and he's still out there like
he's in good shape, dude.
Banging. Shape. Like he's in great shape. So, and a lot of people are. I mean, I know Brian Lopes races. He still rides a lot, so he was, he did very well. But there were a lot of people that are, that got on the bike and did very well. And that was awesome to see. So that's that was kind of from my lens.
Well, from my lens as a pure spectator, and I went there with the intent of being the pure spectator. Justin Shepard and I said, we had a blast setting the pits up, and just where we were at, having that corner space with all the booths lined up, it ended up being a great spot. And special thanks to Todd Huffman for giving us that spot right across from the merch tent. It was great. And we went there with the intent of doing some recording, but we were having way too much fun. And with the races being scattered and all of our crew doing all kinds of different things, we just never got around. We didn't have the opportunity to do it, but that didn't stop us from having a blast.
Right.
So special
you did
thanks
take
to
the
Huff.
equipment out of the truck, though.
We got the equipment out of the truck. Yep. Nailing all of us down, impossible. And so special thanks to Huff, and really a special thanks to our production manager, Justin Shepard, because really we couldn't have pulled it all off without him. We wouldn't even got the tents all the way up. So it was great to have him there. He's always a blast.
Exactly.
Having the opportunity to drive up there all the way from Arizona, I met Eddie King, Tracer Finn, and Jason Chang in Kingman, Arizona. So we drove up. We had our own little world tour going on. It was a blast listening to those guys. And, Eddie with he's another guy, secret funny, man. He gets those zingers in. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
God. And like you said, EC, the Patterson party, going to Brent's house, and that whole thing is just an amazing time. I got to see people I hadn't seen and I don't know how long, and it was a great conversation. And to sit with Dennis Dane for a bit and talk about he's writing a book on Corona Raceway.
Oh wow.
So, to sit and talk with him about the old days at Corona Raceway was great. And Hadley, and always a treat to see him. And Ellis. Let me just tell you about Ellis. We were at the autograph table, and he and I sat at towards the end. And so they said, here's a bag of rubber bands to give people for posters at the end. They can roll their posters up. And I heard, all I got out of that conversation was, hey, Miranda, here's a bag of rubber bands, blah, 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 blah. I didn't hear the rest of it. I was like, oh man, I got a bag of rubber bands, which meant anyone walking by was going to get shot. Yeah. Anyone that wasn't paying attention was going to get shot. And people kept bringing me beers to the autograph signing, and Ellis, I had him in stitches the whole time. It was great. And then I'd shoot somebody and hand the bag of rubber bands to Ellis, and he'd be standing there holding the bag. Perfect. Oh man, loved it. But the absolute highlight for me, was when Todd Huffman, he had asked me to do the silent auction for John Cruz. It was for the Davis Phinney Foundation. So we did a live auction for the Davis Phinney Foundation on behalf of John Cruz. And when we, to raise that money for that, such an important cause, and for my hero, was great. And at the end, when he had made this special guitar statue out of car and motorcycle parts. It's an absolute beautiful work of art. Anyway, the bidding got so high, it was amazing, that we had 3 guys just kept upping up because they wanted to have it. And so finally, Todd Huffman and John Cruz and I had a little quick talk, and John said, listen, if all 3 of you want it, whatever the last bid, I'll give it. All 3 of you will get one. And he did that. And just goes to show you just an awesome human being he is. And thank you guys for all participating. It was great. And all that went to the Davis Phinney Foundation on behalf of John Cruz. That was my highlight. Of course, the low light had to have been Kenny Nachman and Tracer Finn's wreck. And for those of you who have not seen pictures, they locked up at full speed, and they both went over the bars and they're head first into the dirt. And, Kenny Nachman he suffered some pretty major injuries, punctured lung and what have you, and broken ribs, and had to be medevaced out. They took him to the hospital, and he had to get airlifted from that hospital to another hospital because of the amount of injuries that he had. And like I said, our friend and brother Tracer Finn, he's the kind of guy that will, it could be pouring rain. He goes, yeah, but I think it's going to get sunny in a minute. He's just such a positive guy all the time that he won't tell you how hurt he was. But on the drive home, oh man, he was hurting big time. So come to find out, he had a severe whiplash, and he's still dealing with it. And he's numb on the back of his head's numb, unlike mine, which is numb all the way through. But he had I don't know if you can see this.
He had an X-ray. Oh, it's like bent. Yeah,
it's bent. He's getting next is an MRI. Yeah, he's got some issues a lot coming from that wreck, but he won't tell anyone. Yeah, major.
And he wears a lot of gear when he rides. Imagine if he didn't have he really, tries to protect himself. But man, imagine if he didn't have all that stuff. Gee.
Dude, he also wrecked his knee again. So,
but if you look at the crash, because I've seen like sequence shots of it.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, the reason Tracer wrecked the way he did is because of the type of person Tracer is. He dove. When he hits, he actually falls past and around Kenny so that he doesn't land on him. And in doing that, he's compromising his ability to like tuck and roll. He kind of got away from Kenny the best he could, but in the process of doing that, he actually compromised himself and drove his head straight into the ground.
Dude, he lawn darted straight into the dirt.
He didn't land on Kenny, but it caused him to land on his head. I mean,
and how much worse would it have been to have Tracer land on after all the stuff that Kenny was going through, to have Tracer land on him with Tracer's 175 pounds.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad Tracer didn't break his neck, because when you look at the pictures of it and the way his neck was folded, I mean, I think his chest got bruised from his chin protector on the, on his full face. The full face helmet slammed him in the chest because his neck.
Oh, I thought that was his shoulder pad gear.
No, his helmet.
Oh god!
All the way, his neck rotated so far forward that his helmet hit him in the chest.
Sternum rectus.
He got sternum rectus.
He did.
Yeah.
Hey, one more thing I got to point out about what I forgot. It was a highlight and a low light, dude. It just made for pure entertainment. Somehow, some way, Crazy Ronnie found out that we had a cooler, and that became the Dirty Knobs pits became Crazy Ronnie one-man show.
It became a Crazy Ronnie liquor store.
It was a drive-through that never drove through. He just stayed there. And, man, he was just on fire the entire weekend, sitting in the middle of or right in front of our pits, and just on and on and on and on about the Crazy Ronnie stories, and they were hilarious. But I can't tell you how many people would come up to me and go, "Hey, is he still going on that? He's still talking about that?" It was awesome. Donnie Atherton included, and man, we had such a great time. Great time.
Ronnie was on one, man. I got him.
Yeah.
He met us at my bar on Saturday night, if you remember that. And boy, he was in rare form that night. And I got a text from him the next morning. Everybody left. Like, we all, the night was over and we all went our ways. Ronnie I think he was in for the long haul, and he stayed. And I got a message from him the next morning that he got a ride home, because his ride left him.
Yeah, I got the same text. The cops gave him a ride home or something.
The cops gave him a ride home, man. Cops gave him a ride home to his place.
Yeah.
I imagine after we all
I got one too. I got one from him too. It said, "Cops gave me a ride home." Yeah. And then the next picture he sent me was from a jail cell. So I don't know. That's what he sent me, and I just started cracking up. I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's got to be kidding, dude." How about the takedown? Did you guys see the takedown?
I didn't. I heard he stumbled, and Huffman was the closest thing he could grab onto.
What?
Oh yeah, Ronnie has a bad ankle. Yeah, he fell off a cooler last year. Yeah. It was a cooler injury last year. Anyway, he's got a bad ankle, and he lost his balance. He stepped on his ankle wrong. He lost his balance, and he started falling. So, like he said, the closest and largest thing he could find was Huffman, and Huffman wasn't ready for it. And he grabbed Huffman, and they both turfed it right in the very front of the bar.
Oh my gosh!
At the door, hit the door so hard, knocked his glasses off, hit it right with his head. It was a huge, large, big, loud commotion, and neither one of those guys are small.
No. And
I'm sure somewhere someone said, "Oh, there's a 3.5 on the Richter scale at Angels Camp, California today." But Huff jumped right back up. Hey, and they helped Ronnie back up. It was awesome. It was awesome. And what could have been a big, "Oh my God, what's happening here?" It wasn't. Everyone saw it, laughed, they both got up and on their way.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was too fun. Too fun. A lot of crazy things happened that night. They'll have to stay there.
Yeah. That was something.
But it was cool having the Dirty Fest and Dirty Knobs banners up.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah, that was really cool. And a lot
everyone
of
that drove through town. Michelle from my bar in Angels Camp. Thank you for making us feel like family. We hung the banners, and everyone that went through town, and you had to go through town to get to the races. Everybody saw it. It was great.
I think we probably got them. They probably did a couple months worth of business Friday and Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
I can only imagine. I know overheard some locals say, "I don't know what the hell's going on, but I've never seen this many people in this bar ever in my life.
Standing room only was great.
Yeah.
And it was cool when we drove into town the first night that the little pizza parlor had the Frogtown BMX banner up.
Yeah.
Coming into town. That thought was awesome too, man. That community really has embraced the event.
Well, I think, as it's growing, right, they're starting to realize that, there is an economic impact that they're seeing. They're seeing their numbers go up. I mean, I guarantee you my bar crushed it, and the pizza place as well. I know Todd talks with the owner, and the owner's very supportive of the event, and I know a lot of people ate there. And that helps local businesses, especially businesses like that. So, that's a scratching each other's back type of thing that's going on there. And that's when you see positive things happen in towns like that.
Hey, I want to throw out there too. I don't know if you guys got a chance to go up to the bike show. Did you want to get a chance to see the bike show?
No.
Dude,
Yeah,
my motos were
because the races were close.
Well, I did. I went up there. It was awesome to see those bikes and the history. And you see, it's the first time I got to see Rob Lane's Redline display trailer.
Told
EC
you.
had told me.
Wait, didn't he
EC
have
had
it?
told me.
Did he had it at Dirty Fest, didn't he?
Yeah, who had time for that?
Yeah, no, I know. I saw them pull in though the trailer. I hear.
I saw the trailer. Yeah, I saw him setting it up, but we never had time to go in there and sit. And so this time I made a point to go up and sit and I didn't say anything to anyone. I just snuck in. I sat. I watched the video. He has a slideshow that goes on inside. I saw all the bikes. It was just phenomenal. I mean, wow. And then I was walking out and he saw me walking out and he was like, Hollywood, what are you doing? I go, I just wanted to check it out, man. And he said, and he gave me, he goes, I got something else. He said, Bernie Anderson from the ABA had sent him a scrapbook of just of tour people that came to his house and what had back in the early 80s. And I went through that. It was awesome.
That thing is amazing, right? I looked at it too. I happened to see the trailer JV at Dirty Fest.
Yeah.
After the event was done, he was starting to pack up, and I went over to thank him for coming. He goes, dude, he made me come in here and have a beer. And I had the same experience, Hollywood. Like that scrapbook is bananas, dude.
Oh, it's crazy. All the stuff.
I got to check that out.
Oh, you do.
Check it out. Yeah.
It was phenomenal. And there was a few things in that scrapbook were cool. I got to see pictures of I guess Kevin McNeil and Leo Green had stayed with them at their house for quite a while, and that was great. It was awesome.
Wow.
It was just really, really, really neat. The other thing I'll tell you that was pretty cool up there was getting to judge. Mark Darcy had asked me to judge, and Craig Turner asked me to judge one of the things, and to see how, man, those guys are meticulous with those bikes. They're crazy. There was another guy, Chromoly Kid. He's the guy next. He's got he's got super one-off bikes, including the RRS side hack. So he's got some really cool bikes. His display is awesome. Just love that. Just love looking at bikes. As a fan of old bikes, love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would. Cool. I hope Todd. Well, Todd was playing catch up because of the moto posting stuff, but next year I hope that there's a little break in between some of the motos, maybe between second and third rounds, that will allow for that time. Because like JV said, if you race two classes, dude, you were on the gate or walking up to go on the gate almost the whole time. So there was never a spare moment to get over to that. And I didn't get there on Friday. I got there Friday night, so I wasn't there Friday to be able to see the show. So I didn't get to see any of those bikes, man. But it's amazing, like you said, how meticulous and detail oriented.
Yeah.
And those guys just, dude, they study the pictures of, especially when they're making replica bikes. They study those pictures and they get the valve stem covers right. They get the stickers on the number plate right. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's amazing.
It is. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
The fact that we're not going to have, skipping forward to Dirty Fest, the fact that we never intended on running our own bike show. We just got thrown to the wolves on that one. But we will have a bike show again, but it won't be us running it. We're going to have the same crew running it. You know, Mark Darcy and Craig Turner will be running our bike show for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're at the end of the day, they're the experts, right? It makes sense. Get the experts to do that. They'll do it right, and it'll be more successful.
Well, I am looking all the great stuff that we saw at Frogtown was awesome. I'm looking forward to doing what we do on ours. Looking forward to having everyone come down to Temecula, California for our event, and we're going to do registration a little bit different. We'll be making an announcement here in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be really fantastic.
Yeah, and a couple of new things we're gonna add in there that you'll announce as well. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to change the track up a little bit. I liked how we raced it last year. I thought it raced well, but going to freshen it up a little bit. And you know, I don't want to do the same track every time. I want to give them a little bit of variety. Change some of the obstacles and stuff. And
the Saturday night pit bike race.
Saturday night pit bike race.
Let me tell you.
I'm going to change that.
Awesome.
I'm going to change that track a little bit too.
The whole setup though of that was really awesome. I think the way it was in the lights. Yeah, exactly. Right. All the signage that was around. It really was a cool, you know, visually was really cool to see.
Yeah, those signs you guys put up were so cool, man. It really added a backdrop to the whole thing.
Thank you, JT Racing.
That was
thank you, and Tim Engel for getting them printed overnight for us, staying up all night on printing them.
Yeah, that was really, really cool, man. That's and I think that's going to really grow. I think a lot of people are going to talk about that. I'm going to slow that race down a little bit. I didn't realize how fast
it was so fast coming down that starting hill, man.
Right. So I'm gonna slow it down a little bit so that they bunch up a little bit, so we can get a little bit more passing, a little bit more bumping, because I think guys were going we didn't get a lot of bumping, and I think it was because everybody was going so fast they didn't want to fall.
Dude, Gary Laurent was going Mach 5.
Dude, he was fast.
But, unbelievable.
You know, he is a circus clown, dude. He has one of those little mini bikes that he rides as well. So he was in his element. That thing was like a limo to him.
Oh man. So good. So good. Okay. Well, fellas, thanks for jumping on and doing this. I'm glad we did it again. I'm glad we went and took our show elsewhere. Our show, meaning what we do. Yeah. Had a great time, man. It was great to watch both. Really enjoyed watching both of you guys race, and Ethan too. Yeah.
Ethan really
loved watching you race. Loved watching you cramp up.
Oh, I bet. You know what I noticed this year, and I don't know if it was because we sold some then at this weekend or whatever. Dude, there was a lot of Dirty Knobs hats.
I don't think we sold anything.
So that means that those things, people have been buying them. But there was I saw
shirts.
Yeah.
I saw, yeah. We weren't too good at the merch. We weren't too good
at sitting at the tent.
Yeah.
Really. But what that tells me, JV, is that people have bought those hats and shirts at other times. So
yeah, no. We had a lot of people buy the merch. We were lucky, really lucky with that. And we have good supporters out there that are helping us out. Yeah, we sold quite a bit of shirts and hats.
Oh, we should have had Crazy Ronnie selling them at the booth because he was there the whole time.
We gotta sponsor Crazy Ronnie. Get him in a hat and a shirt walking around.
Yeah, he has his own. He has his own shirt.
He does. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Just say you know.
Well, fellas. All I can say is that, man, I had a great time with you guys, as I always do. And I'm looking forward to the next time we get together. And our next show, we will have a guest or guests, depending. We have two shows coming on at the same time. So we have, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting.
Oh, you're not going to tell? You're not going to give a little more of that?
No. The teaser's enough. We'll
You'll know, JV. I won't know till I log on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, let's say this. Can we say it's a follow-up? Can we at least
Yes.
give that?
Yeah, it's follow up.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. Well, fellas,
All right.
fantastic.
Good seeing y'all.
Another one in the books, man. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Huff, thanks. All the guys up there at Frogtown, thanks for starting this vintage resurgence.
Yeah.
We're all grateful. You did a great job. Thank you.
For sure.
All
righty.
Righty.
Hey, this is John Cruz. No, we're not having an earthquake. I have Parkinson's. What do you think of that, Michael?
We ought to pitch in and get you a gimbal.
That would be nice. But seriously, this is John Cruz, and I obviously have something going on, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's 20 years ago this year, actually. So I've chosen the Davis Phinney Foundation over the years to be my voice for Parkinson's. If you're not familiar with the Davis Phinney Foundation, Davis Phinney is one of the winningest cyclists in American history. He's the roadie, if you guys remember those roadies out there, all that Lycra and stuff. But he is just a great man. When he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, he decided to make a difference in people's lives. And his choice was to start a foundation. And that foundation obviously wishes for a cure for Parkinson's, because there is no cure at this time. But they recognize that you have to live with Parkinson's, and your caregivers are having to live and take care of us. And the Davis Phinney Foundation, that's what they do, is they only look for a cure, but they look for ways to enhance the quality of life for Parkinson's sufferers and their caregivers. So I appreciate all of you supporting the Davis Phinney Foundation. It certainly means a lot to me. I know we all have something, right? So I think it's important to give back to our communities, whether it's BMX or a foundation that's close to your heart. If you don't have one, please choose mine. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you, John Cruz. You certainly have made a difference in a lot of lives, including mine, and giving us the opportunity to do something good for somebody else is fantastic. So thank you. Thank you so much. And on behalf of John Cruz, please find a way to give something to the Davis Phinney Foundation on behalf of John Cruz, the Dirty Knobs, and your entire BMX family. Thank you very much. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one, you bunch of dirty knobs. So please do that. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Comment if you have anything to say. We'd love to hear it. And we will be back out here in 2 weeks with another one. And thanks to our sponsors. Speaking of which, we are going to read some commercials to you now. Thanks for showing our sponsors the love, because they're showing it to us. Thanks again, and we'll catch up to you soon. And then sing it out right now.
All right, coming live and direct from the Colt Clubhouse in Santa Ana, California. Come on down and get all your BMX needs. We're giving away free air for your tires. That's all I got, brother.
That's great. That's great. All right, now.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
Kinda, designed for your journey. On the road, on the trail, or on the racetrack, you can count on Kinda quality. Our tires are engineered for performance and value across a wide range of interest and applications. See why Kinda is the right choice. It's your move.
Imagine how bikes can lead to a healthier, more connected world. Bikes set us apart, free to explore and move and experience our relationships with people and places like nothing else can. At Ceres, we don't just imagine a more bikeable world, we're all in, making it happen.
SR Sun Tour shares your passion of cycling. We are committed to giving you the highest level of service in the industry, along with products that hopefully will exceed your expectations. Serving riders is the cornerstone of our business, and we pride ourselves in doing it.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Velocity Bike Park is the premier bike park for riders in Southern California, with 25 miles of world-class trails, obstacles, flow track, and races for mountain biking, gravel, and BMX.
Ultramax safety horns. Yo, you ever feel like that person ahead of you has their head up their ass and you can clearly see that you need to help this moron pay more attention to the shit going on around them? Well, that's when the Ultramax safety horn comes in. With a simple push or a firm smash, if you feel the need, you can let everyone alert everyone around you that someone doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Remember, Ultramax safety horns are not available where helmets and ceiling fans are sold, but you can still get an Ultramax t-shirt at dirtyknobs.com.
Hi everybody, Toby Henderson, founder of Box, co-founder of American BMX Companies, the owner of Race Inc., Botima, and Cook Brothers Racing. We brought these two companies together to bring you the best quality product you can get for a BMX bike. We're all about the rider, so please check out our Level Up and Rider First programs. See you at the track.
ODI Grips, the world leader in grip technology, home of the lock-on grip system. Check them out over at www.odigrips.com. 4416 Designs commercial, take one.
There you go. All right, 4416 Designs. We make shirts, but we don't sell them. We're just giving back to the sport. If you're out at Ukaipa BMX and you need a shirt, hit me up. I'll hook you up with one.
Yeah, I love that. Mega Design Group is a full-service marketing firm. They handle everything from logos to advertising to packaging. Having over 25 years experience in the print and marketing fields, they can handle any hurdle. Check it out at megadesigngroup.com.
Carbone Cartel, for the finest carbon BMX racing products in the market. Make sure you check us out at carbonecartelbmx.com. Our products are ridden by the best in the sport. Drew Polk, Nick Long, and many, many more. This isn't the cheap shit you get from Ali Bobbitt. Make sure you check us out again at carbonecartelbmx.com. Cool Stop brake pads. High performance bicycle brake pads since 1977. Check them out at coolstop.com. That's KOOLSTOP.com. Supercross BMX. What can we say? Our lives revolve around BMX. Founded in 1989 to build the ultimate BMX race frame, they've never strayed from that vision. Hey, for more details, check it out at supercrossbmx.com.
Hey everyone, this is Brian Wilson with ProGate. We are the official gate supplier for UCI and the Olympics. We even make a gate that you can practice on in your driveway at home.
Wait a minute, who else are you making a gate for?
We're making a gate for Dirty Fest. You guys got to come and check it out. Whatever Dirty Fest needs for this track, we're going to supply it. We're not some French knockoff, you know. We're the gold standard in BMX gates. And make sure to check us out at progate.net and bmxtracksupply.com, and we'll see you at Dirty Fest for sure. Take care, everybody.
Hey, folks, this is Mike Rodriguez, a.k.a. Mr. Crit. I've been racing and making number plates since 1980. You know, like when they used to do one pedal stops. But Crit Blade has been around for 43 years. The last 4 decades, the who's who of BMX have raced a Crit number plate straight to the handlebars. And you get that guy Mike Savage, the international man of BMX, still doing it strong. And back in the day, the plates used to be reversible because there was multiple sanctions, and you could put one sanction on one side, one on the other. Now you just got one. But Crit is still reversible, and that logo is still on the back for guys like Mike and your rad guys, like Mike Miranda, who would turn those handlebars and twist them up. And we got it rad just for you.
All right. Hey, where will we see those plates?
Those plates you can see at every single bike shop that stocks BMX stuff in the USA and Canada.
And where will you be at? Will you be at an event sometime soon?
Damn, I'm sponsoring the Dirty Fest, and I can't wait to come out to Southern California and get dirty.
Amy grips, still made here in the USA, used by world champions like me, Tommy Brackens. If you want to know more about the best grips on earth, go to amy.com.
If you have a Senna cycling helmet, you know what it's like to ride connected. Senna got their start in communications for the motorcycling industry, where they're now a leader. Senna brought their same tech that goes into those helmet-to-helmet motorcycle communication systems into cycling helmets. Senna bike helmets have an integrated microphone and 2 speakers hidden right into the shell. Senna helmets connect together on a mesh or Bluetooth network so you can talk to your friends while you ride without shouting over wind noise, even if you're not side by side. That is super cool, especially in the trails. Senna helmets also pair with smartphones, so you can listen to your playlist without blocking out ambient noise, and you can take phone calls and even hear turn-by-turn GPS directions.
Ready?
And that's going in.
Yeah. We need a doing. All right.
What's your nickname for like on the mic? Do you have a?
No.
You don't have?
I don't really have a nickname. It's Mike.
Oh.
Just Mike on the mic.
Name my app.
She got one.
That's getting edited.
Yeah.
We're putting that in.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller, author of Day One by Michael Miller. And a special offer going out. Anybody who buys the book between now and Dirty Fest, which is April 28th through 30th, I'm going to take all the money from the book and send it to the Davis Phinney Foundation for those with Parkinson's. So get your copy on Amazon.com and we'll make a donation.
Hey, what was the name of that book again?
Day One by Michael Miller, which is me.
I'm sorry. Hey, what was that name again?
Day One by Michael Miller.
Hey, support the podcasts that support us, our friends. The fine folks over there at All Things BMX, which is our favorite Wednesday night live podcast, as you know. Our buddies over there at Beer Budget BMX, Big Bike BMX, and BMX Weekly. Check them out. Check them out. Our friends.
What's up, everybody? It's your friend Isaac from Big Bike BMX, and I've got a podcast with my best friend, 80s BMX Craig.
Yep. And guess what, you guys? If you have enjoyed your time here on the Dirty Knobs podcast, we'd love for you guys to come over and hang out with us at Big Bike BMX, where we've got all your old school legends and BMX from the past and today at Big Bike BMX. Isaac,
come check us out. We'd love the opportunity to win you over. And if not, hey, it's just another place to talk about BMX with your grimy friends. It's fun.
Hey, Dale Holmes, I want to tell you something. One of my favorite podcasts that I never miss is BMX Weekly. Even though it has an accent, I still love it.
Cheers, Mike. You can get all the podcasts on bmxweekly.com. Old school, mid school, today's school. Check it out.
Yeah, BMX Weekly.
Hey, here we go. Hey, Beer Budget BMX, baby. Coming at you live from the Beer Budget studios over here at the Hack Shack Quarantine. Oh, man, we're coming in hotter than Satan's nutsack. Yeah, we are dirtier than an Alabama strip club where reclass pros go and get lap dances by their half-sister. Yeah, the only show that'll make you second-guess your life choices like a Amish on an e-bike.
Hey, if you guys enjoy what you just listened to, make sure you tune in every Wednesday night to the All Things BMX show, the only live streaming podcast show in the game right now. Even ask Mike. He's been on. Vicente's been on. Still waiting for that other guy to come on the show. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And you can also find us at allthingsbmxshow.com.
Keep it dirty.
Yo.
Wow.
There he is.
Hold on. Oh, do I make it gallery?
Whoa. There he is.
And you know who's not here?
JV.
Oh, you beat JV.
I know. Hey, I'm going to grab my coffee.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I can't believe I made it on time. I was all set up upstairs and I didn't realize it's right next to Sis's exercise bike. And she's like, hey, I get on that every morning at 9. I'm like, shit.
I got the Tour de Temecula starting right now. I got
right. So I ran
okay.
down into the
Go. I'm not gonna tell them that you're already on.
Yeah.
Okay.
EC is on.
Dude, we were cracking
Kind
up.
of.
He beat you, but then he left. He had to go.
Amazing.
He's here, but he had to go. What he said was, "Hold the gate starter. I got to go to the pits. I'll be right back."
Is he going to come back with food?
Yeah, so he had to go get his coffee.
Oh, gotcha. It
I
is
hope he's
early.
not brewing it now.